Oh yeah, you know already, she's the director. So I couldn't have done this show without her, by the way, because I'm not a performer. I'm a sex counselor and educator, and most of my work is one-to-one or like with couples. So I also like I run talks and workshops and all this, but like to perform is a different kind of skills. So I approached her because I feel very safe with her, and I actually didn't know who else to ask. Yeah. So I. Oh yeah, because I went to her clown workshop, and I think somehow I don't know how she feels, but I feel like we click, and then.
Okay, the funny story, true story. Martha came to I'm a clown, so I did my first clown workshop in Singapore, and then Martha was one of the first few people to sign up. But Martha came with this like very grumpy face, like really like attitude. Then I was like, oh no, am I teaching the wrong thing? Like, how come this person like hate me like that? But actually, she was just like having a bad day or something.
I'm tired.
And then next thing you know, like she approached me, and now I'm working on her show. So if anything, don't judge a book by its cover. First impressions don't count. Yeah. So yeah, she approached me. I mean, the story told me was that you went to a person to try and pitch the show.
Yeah.
And that person said, what did it?
Oh yeah, so I also have other friends, right, who can help me with my show. So I told this friend, and then this friend started to, instead of focusing on me, started to talk about how capable they are, how good they are, and like it was all very like pushy, like pushing themselves down my throat. And then I just felt really unsafe. Yeah. So it's important to get support from the right people.
Yeah, she came to me and she said, oh, this just said this to me. Then I was like, how dare they? Okay, let's show them it can be done. We can do a one-person show and you're gonna be great. And we did it. That's
Yeah, so I'm bringing it to the Melbourne Fringe Festival, the 14th to the 20th of October. And it's a small theater, like 30 people, but yeah, there are 3 different Singapore groups of people doing 3 different shows. Yeah. So one is a one-person drag show, drag singing show, and then there's this Lotus group going to the Melbourne Fringe Festival, and then there's me.
all the best.
So when you first met, is it like this year or last year, or like how long did it take?
Last year.
Oh, last year.
To me last year November and say I have an idea for a show. I said, okay, why don't you write it first and then get back to me? And then she disappeared for like months, and I was like, is this show written yet? She's like, haven't write yet. And I was like, hurry up, you want to go Melbourne, right? The opening, like you gotta write the script. Then boom, like she wrote it really fast, and then I came in because I travel a lot for my work, so I only came in last month to just like piece everything together. And the piecing is a lot of, she wrote a lot of things. Obviously she did lots of stories. We only have 1 hour. So I think my work is just to be like, okay, how can we make it fun for the audience, to make it like interactive, to make it about them, not really only about you, educational but entertaining. And then like I'm kind of like just the third eye to like sculpt the work a little bit. And then we have to test it. So when we test it, we're like, oh, this doesn't work. Okay, like cut. And even today, like taking notes, oh, this one don't work. Okay, so later also, we are always continuously shaping the work. So actually, it's good to have an audience to help.
I think I appreciate that we actually are think alike in a lot of things, so there was never like any real conflict. Because she's also very like sensitive in her soul, so the way we approach it was in a very like real way. Yeah.
Yes.
You have questions?
Yeah, he has a question.
As
No lah, don't need the question.
okay, so I have a few questions. You did mention something about feeling safe. How do you how do we make people feel safe about this topic? And how do we flirt? Second thing. The third thing is, how do we know when the other person is flirting?
Very cheap.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
How to make someone feel safe? Do you mean like our relationship, or you mean in sex or relationship?
Yeah, kind of. How do we go intimately slowly together?
Yeah. Okay, very very simple. There's you, there's them. When you are pushing yourself towards someone, it's like the vibe can be like desperate, like trying too hard. That already itself will repel people who are very sensitive to this kind of energy. So actually, the more comfortable you are with yourself, the more you are detached, the more you basically don't care. It's not about like being cruel or like heck care. It's detached. It's like you care, but you don't need anything from them to take from them. Then people are more likely to feel safe. But first is having a relationship with yourself where you feel safe with yourself, where you actually like your own company, where you are your own friend, and you enjoy yourself. You like who you are, and the more I work on myself, the more I notice a lot of people felt safe with me. And pretty much like when I go on dates, like pretty much every single one of them want to be in a relationship with me or want to continue to date me. But it became a matter of I've done all this work on myself, and I can see in you what is not there and what is not good enough for me. That's not to say you're a bad person, just not at my level. And it's about finding someone who, because I'm a counselor, I'm very sensitive. So I do need a partner who is very, very self-aware and has done their own share of inner work. And I find that a lot of people, they want to, they try, whatever, but they are actually still running away from doing the actual work on themselves. So like going counseling help, going for personal development things, events, workshops help. But I think it's not just about saying been there, done that. It also doesn't mean that you will be a self-aware person. You really have to take it on board and actually be it. Yeah. So that's the safe person.
How do you work on yourself? Like, is there steps? Like, how does it?
Work on yourself by looking at what are the maybe workshops available, and then what appeals to you, and then go for it. Like,
can I ask a very cute question about because you said defining. Sorry, I'm a podcaster, so I have to ask questions. Sorry. No, you say defining the other person, whether the other person has reached the level or not. How do you know that? Like, how do you?
Because
you say
you just feel that you are at different wavelength. It's just like me and her. I just knew that we were very similar in our nature. Like we are both very sensitive. I just knew from talking to her, and it's just a vibe. I think how you become good at sizing up people, which I was not when I was younger, was the number of people that I wasn't exposed to. As I got older and I was more exposed to people, as I dated more, I started to learn more about myself and also more about reading people and more on what I like, what I want in a partner. Okay, how to flirt?
Yes.
How to flirt?
How to flirt?
I'm not good at it.
Not good.
I'm not good at it. But the common one is Abby can teach you better actually. Abby has been trying to teach me how to flirt. Abby is the one in red. She's wearing my dress today. Cute. How to flirt? Well, according to Abby, you whenever you have a chance to, you can touch them. But don't, of course, violate their boundary. So it could be like as part of the conversation, and then you'll be very sensitive to their reaction. Like if they are like, that means don't continue lah. Yeah. Also asking personal questions. Asking personal questions can show that you are interested in them. It's very hard to say how, but I think the best way is just tell them. Just tell them. No, I'm interested in you. I'm interested to get to know you more. I'm interested to get to know you more in a personal capacity.
Yeah.
Or that day someone came to me and asked, are you single? That's it. It's very obvious. It's very obvious that the person is trying to get a sense whether I'm interested to explore further. So yeah, they just ask, are you single?
Is that an offensive question though?
how do you know?
Yeah.
Take that kind of very direct, like.
Is it like the
Is that
tone?
Yeah.
Are you single? Are you single?
So like tone down the using directness lah, yeah. Maybe sing song it a little bit more lah. Yeah.
Single. Oh.
Yeah. Hey, you know.
Yeah. Add a giggle.
Yeah. Add a giggle.
Yeah, are you single?
It's so funny because we don't learn these things. We have to attend Martha's show. I mean, I
Ask
learned a
this
lot.
question.
Yeah, I learned a lot just working on this show. Every time I watch a run.
Okay, what was the other question?
How do you know if someone else is flirting? But
How
I think
do you know?
Yeah. Because sometimes we are very blur about it, right? Someone is just very close to us and like, what's going on?
Okay, so I
Yeah.
feel like you will become more sensitive to energies if you, I just want to say, you will be more sensitive to energies if you just calm the fuck down. Meditate, be grounded, be mindful, do less. This is one of the things that I had to do, which is the opposite of me. Because when I get nervous, I talk very fast, I move very fast, and then she says slow down. But it's easy to say slow down, but you have to do things to make yourself slow down. So like I would ground myself, I would anyway do different things to tell myself slow down. So calming yourself down will allow you to be more sensitive to what else is going on outside of you. Then you'll be more aware of the vibe that you're getting.
Anyone else?
Yeah. Any other question?
What do you want to explore in the show that you haven't had a chance to explore yet?
This question.
I think we try to keep everything as tight as possible so that it's not boring. And I didn't put in the LGBTQIA theme. She said it's not very flattering of me to admit how I used to not be comfortable of gay people. Yeah. So I had this incident where I was going down the escalator and a gay couple was going up. So we were going in opposite direction. I was with my I guess boyfriend at that time. And then so I nudged him, I was like, hey, look at them, gay couple. And then as we go past the couple, he asked me like, why did you do that? I was like, what do you mean? Like, why do you nudge me? Like, why do you want me to look at them? Like, why can't you just leave them the fuck alone? And then it occurred to me, yeah, like gay people are not a shit show, they are not a show. They have their lives, they want to have privacy. And so I put that into the show to show that this was where I was at and how I had to grow up and respect people. But because it's like, you know, our show is like, it's just very disjointed to just put it in.
Yeah.
And also some of the parts you can see they are linked to one another, like it flows. So we didn't put that in.
And also I think for me it's like, if you want to really talk about this issue, I say let's talk about it fully and like spend a good 10 to 15 minutes, which is what I think the issue deserves. Not just this one-off story that it's like you open the door and then that's it. You know, it's like, oh, I want to include this topic to be inclusive, and then it's like a 2-minute tokenistic thing. So we decided like, okay, maybe in Orgasmic AF part 2, you know, really talk about it, but not just 2 minutes of it and then we never talk about it again. I think I really wanted to do that. What other things do we cut out?
Yeah, I don't know whether it's this show is like too simple for like adults. Simple, like not deep enough or like boring. I don't know.
I think it's pretty good.
Is that a joke?
How deeper do you get?
How more deep?
Yeah, if you had to get deeper,
Sure.
where would you
Yeah.
go? Yeah,
Just
also
so
within the
Wow.
package of just the
I mean,
show.
I personally think if we were to rewrite the show, if she was to rework it, I would want to be exploring more of the like client stories, the myths, the stuff that I think there was a lot more material, but it was just too much. But I think we would maybe add that in more of those things. Yeah.
Like my personal stories, like sex talk, first time masturbation. I feel like this is still like going into the topic of sexuality, but not really deep. Like for instance, other things. I have other stories, but like around BDSM that I learned the hard way. If you don't have safe word, you don't have safe signal, you can get hurt. I didn't go into those scary ones.
So part 2 next year.
Yeah, I just because we talked about it last year, and then I was supposed to do the script. I sat on it for many months. It was hard for me, and then she said just apply to Melbourne Fringe Festival. So I applied, thinking I was not going to get in, and then in fact I already decided I don't have money to go. Then they wrote to me and said, okay, you got the venue, and then I was like, oh, it's actually affordable. And then suddenly we just rush, try to get everything up. And I told myself, I don't want to do this next year because I'm getting old. I want to do it this year.
What are you looking for in the next maybe 2 to 5 years in terms of where you're going?
Oh, I don't know.
Don't know. That's a normal.
So this year is pretty like, what the fuck am I doing? Yeah.
What have
It's
you
a
done?
very different thing that I'm doing. I've never done anything like this.
I just wanna say
I don't really have expectation. Like there are people going to the Melbourne Fringe Festival looking for money, looking for other events to go to. And she said, oh, you can do this, and then I'm like, I don't know whether I want to do it. So I'm just going there to just do it. Yeah, maybe it's like a bucket list thing.
But I wanna say like Martha really has grown a lot from the moment she wrote the script to doing this show. I think performing in front of an audience and holding a one-person show is very difficult. And then she had no performance training. She really had to learn fast and really hold an audience. So I think even doing this, I told her like, you know, all those people that say you couldn't do it, like you just showing up and doing it already is like you broke so many ceilings that you know people put on you, and that's big growth. You never know where you will go from.
I have difficulties with transition. You want to tell them?
No lah, I don't.
Okay, but I have struggles. But one of the biggest one is actually remembering my old script. Yes.
Yeah, she used to our last show that we did. She was still relying on me, so she would stop the show and she'd be like, and I'm like, yeah, but today she didn't. I think once.
Yeah, I forgot.
It's okay.
I forgot. Okay, but anyway. I have to be ready. Yeah.
So are you gonna be practicing very hard from now till?
Yes,
Because
yes,
she's not
yes.
gonna be there. So.
Yes, I will practice. I think if I am not worried about forgetting, then I will have more fun.
Is that the big challenge for you?
Yes.
That's why you say like getting older. Is it the
It's-
memory of it?
No, because I have never had to memorize something that lasts for 1 hour. And it's not just what is next, it's the exact words. Because if I try to win too many things, then it becomes confusing to people. So yeah, memorizing is an issue because my work actually is very much about being present, very much about going with the client. There is no memorizing needed. It's very much going with the flow of how I feel like it at that moment based on what I'm feeling from the client. And so it's a bit like improv. So now I have to remember. This is very difficult. I was freaking out. But yeah, each time I do practice, it got better and better. It got easier.
And do you watch the videos of yourself and play back and you learn from it?
Yes, I
This
watch.
is also a growth thing, right? I mean,
Yes,
I'm
yes.
asking this kind because I also do wonder. I'm older than you, and so it's like, how do we learn? You know,
Yeah.
as we grow older, how do we learn? Really, a new skill actually, a new.
Yes. Okay,
profession
so
almost.
there were certain things I'm really not good at and I really think I cannot do it. And then she just told me you just have to keep doing. Just keep until you have the muscle memory. So even if you're older, there's no excuse because you can put in more repetition and more effort. And sometimes also is what we tell ourselves, oh, I can't do it, I'm so old. But actually I don't think it's old. I mean, yes, I'm old, but it's also not because I'm old. I think it's just because I am not used to doing these skills, doing these things. Like when I'm with my client, I sit down and talk, you know. I don't stand up and try to move props and all that. So that is a struggle for me to move and talk and walk and take props. So we had to cut down everything to the minimum. Okay, I just say. So it's she's laughing like crazy. Okay, so I learned this and it came out the last show that we ran last Wednesday. Martha will go and get the prop, come to the center and then talk.
Yeah.
Martha cannot walk and talk at the same time.
Yeah, I was like, that's our last show. Every transition, she'll stop, and she'll go take the talk, and then she'll come back. And I'm like, why can't you just talk and walk? And then I'm like, you're doing it right now. Well, you're talking to me. Like, oh, this is a problem that we need to fix. Except,
Yeah, so she made me practice.
yeah, practice over.
And even the last bow, we had to do it a few times because I cannot take
finish
the
the
prop.
show. Then she just runs out. And I'm like, you did 1 hour.
Okay, it's over.
Take a bow. Yeah, so just stuff like that. That's our rehearsal room.
So did she do it today, like walk and talk?
Yeah, she
Right?
did.
She did.
Yeah.
Yes, I was very proud of myself. I was very proud of myself. No, that's what you can do when you remember your lines.
Yeah, okay, well done.
Because you cannot remember your lines, then you're like,
And she will come to me and she will be like, I'll go in for a rehearsal. She'll be like, oh, I cannot remember my lines. Until I went, okay, stop. This is like, we're not going to start rehearsal like that. You know, no more. I don't want to hear this anymore. You can do it.
yeah.
And every time she goes, oh, and I go like, shh. You can do it, you know, like we have to change the energy.
Yeah, the inner dialogue. And then
Yeah.
she's like, okay, stop it, we don't have time.
Yeah, Melbourne coming up. Like, until one day I said, you want Australian newspaper to write notes?
You know what she had to say that was the best? You know the show has my name? It's going to affect my reputation. So you better be serious. I was like, okay, when she's using that, it's serious.
No, just kidding.
No, it woke me up. It woke me up.
I try many tactics. I'm like nice director, like kind, oh safe, then okay doesn't work, okay no, we gotta do this. Then doesn't work, okay, use like scientific, like spectral, like, I just try many things. But she's been very hardworking, I would say.
No, but she's really very, very safe. She never raised her voice at me, never roll her eyes. She's very, very safe.
I mean, I scold her, but then she's like, that's not scolding.
That's not scolding, you're smiling.
Like, Martha, walk and talk, okay?
Never scold me.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I mean,
I feel
now
very
you
safe.
know our dirty
Very
secrets.
But I think the most healing part of me, maybe as somebody who has had a lot of trauma, is how safe she is as a person and how she made me feel. And then it inspired me like, okay, it's possible to be a safe person. So be around safe people. Yeah. So whatever that I put into the show, I could not have known how much I would grow from it. Not as a performer, I don't really care about that. Not as a performer, I grew as a performer, but actually I didn't know this is the best personal development workshop that I can pay for. Like I thought I was healed from a lot of my whatever pain, but there was still more and more layers that kept coming up. Like there was like this little section that took me like 45 minutes to even remember like 5 lines. And then I was like, yeah, that's because it's so hard to say it. Any more questions? Very quiet, yeah.
Is that actual poster that you used to masturbate or is it just
No lah. The actual poster was like what? 35 years ago?
You know some people keep like their for very long.
No, this is a new poster that I bought with my father. Yeah, we went to buy the poster together.
Speaking of your father, do you feel that your parents supported your career choice?
No. My dad said, like, what the hell you doing? Just go find a normal job. It wasn't so much like being a counselor. It was more like the income that he was concerned about. But I think after a while, with all the media publicity, then I think he got like what I'm doing and how it's meaningful. Then he came to me and said, oh, you know what, actually, self-employed can also earn a lot of money. But he's proud of me. He sends me dirty jokes, you know. He sends me dirty jokes and he thinks, oh, that might help your work.
That's good.
I could be just part of the show, right?
Yeah, but my father didn't want to watch the show.
Oh,
He didn't want to watch the show.
yeah, to be fair, my mother didn't want to. Well, I think we should end so that people can go.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for coming and
Thank you.
Energy. We'll be around if you want to ask more questions. If not, please feel free to take those amazing merch at the back. Martha is giving it away.
No, selling.
Selling.
Okay, not selling. Everything that y'all buy will go to Cancer Society. Oh, there's an announcement. We have an announcement.
Yes, thank you everybody for being here today. My name is Joyce. I'm from Singapore Cancer Society. Together with me, Jamie and Dawn.
Hi.
So we are all from Singapore Cancer Society. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Dr. Mata for doing such an awesome job, right? And through this effort, the proceeds actually goes into supporting the cancer community. They have raised up to today that's $700. And thank you so much, Mata, for the effort and everybody for being here today. All of you are awesome. Okay, thank you so much.